Hi everyone, this is Jessica L'Whor, and I'm here with Ask a L'Whor. This is my 24th Ask a L'Whor video, and I'm really excited for this one. I've been putting it off for a little bit, but I just finished the gig earlier today at M Uptown. Drag Queen Brunch was incredible, so if you missed it, you were really missing out, but we're going to be doing it every single Sunday that there's not a Broncos game, because people at gay bars like football, apparently. You know, they kick those field goals and score a couple three-pointers and four. So yeah, and then later tonight, so if you're still out and about, you're going to want to come and check out the revival of Kylies Keke over at Charlie's Bar. Show starts at 10 o'clock, and I'm going to be part of that show as well, so I'm very excited. Have to do some touch-ups on my makeup. I'm missing some pieces. I'm a little splotchy and shiny, but I'm pretty happy with it, though. I mean, from a distance, you can't really tell things are that much of a mess. Okay, right. Like I said, I'm really excited for this video, so I've been putting off this question for probably about 3 weeks. I really wanted to think about it a little bit more. And a while ago, somebody asked me advice for someone who is just starting in the drag world, anything from making connections to first steps to dealing with fear of doing something new and kind of intimidating and things like that. And I put it off because I was like, I want to make a whole Ask a L'Whor video about this. I think it's really important, and I have a lot of thoughts on this. So before even going into my response, if you're somebody that's like, I really just want to try drag, like getting into the drag world, I just want to try it, this is not necessarily a video for you. I think everyone should experience and try drag in any way that they want to, and give it a shot, express how they want to, if they want to try it for Halloween or make a joke of it, or try something new. If they're not like really into the performing, or they're just like, every now and then, this video isn't for you, so don't take that out of context. This video is going to be 10 tips, and I brought it down to 10 tips for queens that are, or performers coming into the drag world that want to really make this either a career or a consistent hobby or regularly perform or anything like that. I think it's really important that that I preface these are my opinions and thoughts, and from my experience and how I'm observing things. By no means is this the end-all be-all of everything and every tip. I'm sure there's plenty more tips than just these 10. I'm positive that there's more than 10. I'm also sure there's better tips. But I brought it down to these 10 tips that I think are really helpful for up-and-coming queens. Some of the practices that I've intricated. Oh, I just messed that up. Integrated into my drag and how I express or put myself out there and how I'm perceived and things like that. And here we go. I'm going to jump into it because I have 10. So the first one is be in no particular order. So it's not like best tip to worst tip. These are just 10 tips. First one is be comfortable being you, okay? Whatever you want your drag to be, you have to allow that to be you, okay? So if you want it to be kooky, crazy, if you want to be a chameleon, if you want to be padded for days, body yaddy yaddy, lip sync queen, if you want to be pageant, if you want to not be put in a box either, make sure that you're not, okay? Whatever it is, you have to learn to be comfortable being you, and you have to be comfortable in that sense that people are gonna read you for filth. People are going, and that's bad. That basically means that they're sitting there and they're judging you, and everybody judges you, and it's awful. And it's kind of inappropriate all the time, but people are going to judge you. They're not going to like what you do at first, and it's going to be a struggle trying to get into the scene. You have to be comfortable doing whatever you're doing and not looking into that, and really kind of set a stage for how you want to build a fan base, I guess. I'll take the piece of advice that I got from my very beginning is that they're there to see you. Something I've always told myself, as long as I'm making one person smile or one person happy, then I'm doing my job. And so really trying to instill that as long as one person is positively being affected in whatever you're doing, that you're doing a good job and your drag is awesome. My second one, and I've said this a lot, you have to be comfortable being, I don't like the word ugly, but ugly, inexperienced in makeup, to be humbly pretty. You have to be okay with that concept of not being beat on fleek and whatnot, to be humbly pretty. Everyone goes through the struggles when they first start out. If you look at any queen who started out in the beginning, who painted themselves consistently, you will see a lot of not blending and harshness, and things aren't on fleek, or they had no idea what they were doing. And you can tell the people that progressed and grew from that and were okay with that. You can see that progress, and it really represents and shows off a queen in themselves, but you have to be okay with that. I remember starting out and people coming up to me, making it a point. I'd go to tracks and telling me that without asking, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And I had an option. I had an option to fight back and be like, I'm a bitchy new queen, I know what I'm doing. I just sat there and I kind of just took it. It's not that I didn't want to stand up for myself. Yes, it was rude, it was disrespectful, but in a lot of ways, my response was, oh, I know, I'm still working on it, but thank you for the feedback, and walk away. Obviously, their intent was not done appropriately, but you can't let little stuff get to you like that, or you'll get a bad reputation for being a bitch. But you have to be okay with not looking perfect or pretty or anything like that, to be humbly pretty, to be complimented and say, oh, thank you, I really appreciate it, or, I'm still working on this or this, always analyzing that. That goes into, or that doesn't go into that. Tip number 3 that I have, so first one was be comfortable being you, second one was being humbly pretty and learning to do that. The third one is discover a non-financial drive. I think it's really important that, and I think it's great that when everybody wants to start drag, a lot of them, you ask them, why do you want to do drag? And they're like, well, I can walk in heels because I'm fierce. Well, that's great. That's really, really great. But then you look at everybody that's fighting for a bigger purpose and a bigger potential and possibility. And it's not to wrong people that want to be fierce and walk around in heels and that can dance the boots, house, pussy popping down, whatever. But find a drive that's non-financial. I know too many up-and-coming queens or new people coming into it that are like, I can make money, I'm going to have a booking fee, like, I'm going to do these gigs and get a lot of dollars, and it's going to be great. And that's not how it's going to be. You have to be willing to do gigs for free for at least a year. Very, very few times will people under a year get regularly paid gigs, or a lot of them, or anything like that. Put yourself out there. Offer to do shows for free. Offer to donate your tips for benefits. Volunteer for benefits. Network and meet people. Kind of put in your dues and work a little bit in that sense, because the money will follow unintentionally. When people ask you what your booking fee is and you're not 3 years or 4 or 5 years into the game, or you're not on RuPaul's Drag Race, or you're not a huge title holder, your booking fee should be whatever they're able to afford as a bar or venue. And I think that's only appropriate in a lot of ways, because you're not going to get anywhere being money focused. So find a drive, whether it's creative outlook, it's creative freedom, expressing yourself, body positivity, overcoming a fear, anxiety, whatever that is to you, whatever outlook that is to you. I encourage you not to have a financial drive as your main focus for what drag is, because you will be sadly disappointed and you will come off very wrong when people are watching or paying attention. Number 4, learn your history. This was something that I regretfully didn't pay attention to coming into it, and I knew nothing. And I recognize the fact that I've stepped into a lot of open doors to learn and to network with people that have paved the way. So learn who in this community have paved the way for you to be able to do this, or be interested in doing this comfortably. Researching history. Just because you watch RuPaul's Drag Race does not mean you know anything about it. Just because you Google a couple of things about drag queens doesn't mean you know anything. Learn about the Nina Montaldos in your city, the Crystal Towers, the Christy Lanes, where your Pride started, how Pride started, some of the struggles that people went through. Not only that, learn from them. Pay attention to the detail and the glamour and the makeup and how they do things, and get inspired and get ideas from that. It'll just help you in the long run. It's very important not to be so ignorant or naive to the fact that these people exist that are so important in our community. Number 5, attitude and being realistic. This is probably not only my biggest pet peeve, but it's a real thing. Tip: if you want to be successful, have a good attitude. If you have a crappy attitude on social media, or anything like that, people are going to notice that. If you in the dressing room, if you're rude, if you're standoffish, if you're not thankful or appreciative, um, or you're causing issues or being aggressive in any kind of way, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, um, your attitude really will speak for that. If you're a kiss ass, people know if you're a kiss ass. If you are sitting there and you're in your photos and everything and you're just like hashtag on fleek, hashtag fierce, hashtag this, that's great. I understand that there's a lot of confidence that comes with that, and you have to think about what the perception is on the other end of that. If it's not done in the right way. When I see that, I see people being stuck in a sense that they're not willing to grow. It's not, and the thing is, when it's obvious, it's realistically obvious that there's so much more to grow and improvement. And I myself, like, I do it too. That's why I don't post stuff like that, because I'm constantly observing and analyzing what I need to fix and what I need to do to better myself. But there's so much, oh, I put on this lipstick and I'm perfect now, and I can be on RuPaul's Drag Race, and I'm the best thing that's ever hit the stage, and people read into that and people pay attention. If you are calling people out on Facebook, if you're not handling your business appropriately, if you're not doing your drag professionally, people will know, and it'll end up to bite you in the butt. So your attitude and being realistic about where you are at in your career and where you want to go are all very important things. Number 6, I would say responsible investment. I feel, and I got stuck in it too, I feel like when everyone starts out in drag, everything that they see in the malls, online, makeup, anything like that, immediately people are so like focused on just buying everything, just building their collection, be like, oh, this is cute, this is cute, this is cute, this is cute, which is great. It's great that you're investing in things that you like. Slow down. Invest responsibly. Can't say this enough. Sometimes it's better to save up and not spend money on stuff. And I know it's hard when you're new, when you want to get out there more and you have nothing to start with. As you build, it gets easier, but do not max out credit cards. Do not steal. Do not get to those points where you think you need the most expensive wigs when you're starting out, or the most expensive costumes when you're starting out, or shoes, or makeup. Start off slow. Be responsible financially, and that'll take you far in a lot of ways. As you progress, you will learn to splurge on certain items, or know how to find certain deals, or find things that are expensive looking but are feasible. But do not run yourself into debt trying to support yourself in drag. My biggest pet peeve is with makeup is that not everyone, a lot of people that I know that start out are like, well, I just spent $400 at MAC and Sephora and I'm gonna look incredible. Well, not if you don't know how to use it. I mean, even for myself, I just started using very specific name brand things, but after testing them out, but I still, most of my makeup, 75 to 80% of my makeup is Walmart. It's drugstore makeup, and you learn how to make it work. And as I still have nothing that I've bought from Sephora or anything from MAC, but I'd love to experiment with things like that now that I'm more experienced with products of the similar nature, and I feel more like I would treat the product more respectfully. But don't feel like you need to invest so much immediately into your drag. Not to say that you should not be thinking about what is going to be glamorous and wonderful in the long run, but be responsible. Tip number 7, view is how you're viewed and how you're being represented. Kind of goes back to what I was saying about attitude being realistic. Everyone is watching, always. Audience members, show directors, other performers, bar staff, everybody is watching on social media, at the shows, in the dressing room. You need to be careful what you say, how you say it, what you're going to say. You really need to choose your battles, and you need to choose how you're going to handle situations like that. Are you getting drunk and belligerent? Are you showing up late constantly? Are you talking shit about someone's show while you're at their show, which has happened to me, and it just pisses me off. Are you promoting correctly? What are you doing to show that you're being that way? If you feel a certain way, address it to them straightforward. Be straightforward. Talk to your good Judy, as Alyssa Edwards would say. So find your one best friend and vent to them, or just get over it. you have to pick a place. Especially being new, it's really crucial because it can ruin your career. As you move forward in your career, being a little bit more vocal will come off as a more respected thing. Like making this video, I feel more respected making this video than if I were new, and I'm still new, but if I were newer, trying to do a video like this and giving advice for something that I didn't feel prepared on. So really, really think about how you're being viewed and represented. Number 8, practice and waiting. Practice, practice, practice. Every chance. I encourage practice and going out. It kind of helps with the humbly pretty thing. You aren't going to look that great, but if you keep practicing and you keep analyzing what you like and what you don't like about your makeup and changing it up and trying new things and techniques, you'll learn to evaluate your face and make it your own, and it'll just make you a better makeup artist and a better drag queen or drag performer. But waiting, I hear all the time, oh, I mean, I practice at home, but I'm waiting to have the perfect look, or I'm waiting to be perfect in my makeup or my choreography or anything like that. What I respect is that, yes, you waiting and trying to make sure everything is perfect is very respectful because you're passionate and you're concerned about how you're representing yourself. And the longer you wait, the less growth you're going to have. You need to have those messed up performances. You need to lose a wig. You need to be scared. You need to not look that pretty at the beginning. These are like almost initiation kind of things in the drag world, in my opinion, that help you to become a better performer and drag artist. But there's a positive to waiting because you want it to be perfect. And are you really going to ever be perfect? No. I mean, everyone is still constantly developing and changing up how they're doing things, that no one's going to be perfect. So jump on it. Go out to the club scene if you're not ready to perform and show off your makeup and be out and drag and meet and network people. Look for shows, things like that. Waiting can be good and bad. The next thing is my favorite piece of advice: persistent, respectful initiative. The worst thing that they can say is no. The worst. If you are not taking the initiative to get bookings or to show interest in shows or anything like that, no one will notice you, especially if you're in Denver. Maybe it's different in your city, but in Denver it is completely oversaturated with drag performers that if you don't tell them or you're not showing interest in being available, they won't even bat an eye at you and somebody else will get the booking. Think about it. If you want to perform, if you want to be seen that way, that is extremely important. Now, it's important to be respectful and persistent. I remember trying to get into, so I remember watching Felony Cell Block for the first time and being like, I will do whatever it takes to get on that stage, because Felony not only puts on a good show, but she's represented well, and it was at Trax, and I was like, I want to perform in her show. I asked Felony for probably 4 or 5 months in a row, every time, hi, this is who I am, I'm really interested. If you say no, it's no big deal. But I wanted to express interest. She said, oh, no, girl, sorry, not this month. She always responded. By the 5th time, she gave me a chance. I didn't have videos. I didn't have like things to show, so that's really what she was looking for. She didn't know anything like that, but I didn't give up. I wasn't rude. I wasn't like, oh, she's not booking me, or think, oh, she's never gonna say yes again. People, the worst thing that people can do is say no. If you ask anybody, out-of-state gigs, different opportunities, they say no, you're back where you are. No one knows. Oh well. Ask again. Figure it out. But be persistent, be respectful. There would be times I would finish a show, and then the next day send a thank you message and say, I would love to come back next month. And then in a week I'd be like, do you have a guest spot available? Let me know. More times than not, I'd get a booking back again. It got to the point where I didn't have to ask to be in shows anymore. I didn't have to take that initiative, and I still take that initiative to ask for shows. I'm not too good for that or anything like that. Like, I know, but I've gotten to the point where people are asking me now, and it's become wonderful to set up a schedule like that. Next is own whatever you do performance-wise. This is number 10. Own whatever you do performance-wise. If you are going to be a dancing queen, if you are screwing up, if you are going to be comedic, if you are going to do something different, reveals, whatever you're doing on stage, you need to own what you're doing. The more confidence that you express on stage, the less people can touch you. The less people can read you and everything. If you look afraid, if you look uncomfortable, then people are going to notice that and they're going to use it against you. Don't let them. Be confident in everything you do, even if you're screwing up, even if you don't know the words to your song, even if you look like a flailing dead white girl fish out of water. Do you. Own it. If you own it, then they can't touch you. I'm going to add in a secret number 11 tip that I was thinking about, and I think what I wanted to, I had it earlier. Continue to grow, I think, is my number 11. I have 11 and 12. 11 is continue to grow, continue to change and find new ways to improve yourself and your art and how you're connecting to people. If you want it and you want it badly, there should be nothing that's stopping you. You can do it. You really can. So keep improving, keep analyzing your performances and makeup. Never get too good for your britches or anything like that, because it'll help you in the long run. Not to overanalyze. There's times you should be proud of what you're doing. I'm adding a number 13. Number 12, network. Meet people. Be nice. When you're in a dressing room and you don't know people, ask who they are. Introduce yourself like a business person. Thank a DJ personally. Thank the bar staff that you connect with personally. Thank your host, your show host. I kind of got away from the publicly thanking people. I found it ingenuine from my perspective, and I would rather send a private message and say thank you so much, or text somebody, or before the show in person, thank them. But whatever, to each their own. I think a thank you is better than anything. But network, meet people and create friendships and sisterhood and everything like that, and it'll really help you in the long run. And be genuine about it. Be genuine about it, otherwise it'll come back to bite you in the butt. And then my number 13 advice, have fun. Because if you're not having fun, and this is another piece of advice that Jamie Von D actually told me when I was starting out, if you don't love it anymore, don't do it. Once you stop loving doing drag, once you stop caring and you just can't find the energy or the creativity, stop, take a break, do whatever you have to do. But it only hurts you and it hurts the people that are trying to watch you. But it's okay to take a break, and I'm hypocritical for not taking a break sometimes. But it's have fun, and if you're not having fun, step back. Those are my 13 now pieces of advice. Okay, so 1, be comfortable being you. 2, be humbly pretty. Learn to be humbly pretty. 3, discover a non-financial drive. Learn your history is number 4. Attitude and being realistic about your drag is number 5. Responsible investment is number 6. How you're being viewed and how you're representing yourself is number 7. Practice and weighing what waiting looks like is number 8. 9 is persistent, respectful initiative. Number 10 is own whatever you do. Number 11 is always continue to grow. Number 12 is networking. And number 13 is have fun. Thank you all so much for watching this longer Ask a L'Whor video. I think this one is probably my favorite one. Find me on Instagram at @the_l.whor. Find me on Facebook and add me as a friend or like my page. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. And comment with other things that you'd like to hear from me, topics that you want me to give my opinion on, lists, bucket lists, anything like that. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!